everybody? Welcome back to this week's episode of the Weekly Bugle. Justice was going to intro this one, but he couldn't. He couldn't do two things at once. He couldn't be Justice Adams and Miles Morales at the same time. So, I'm joined by my co-host Justice Adams,
It's Miles, actually.
Miles Morales, and Gavin Coleman.
What is up, guys?
I'd like to preface this episode by saying Gavin has a Kermit the Frog voice. He has laryngitis.
I got laryngitis up in here.
For about 2 weeks now.
Yeah, we think it's permanent at this point.
It's been a good week. It's been a good week and a half. It's getting on my nerves. No, wait. Yeah, week and a half.
He also has his 8th grade
Almost 2
Spider-Man mask on, so it's really...
It'll come off here in a little bit, but just want to have it on for a
Nah,
little
don't worry
bit.
about me,
Celebrate
though.
the release.
This is
of
not
No Way
coming
Home.
off.
I'm 6'3", 245 pounds, so a Spider-Man costume doesn't necessarily cater to my body style. So, I will not be joining these two in their cosplay.
I mean, you could get one tailored.
Yeah, but that just look like Fat Peter Parker.
You could get a mask.
Stupid.
I don't know where
Peter
the
B.
suit is. I
Parker,
just have
dude.
a mask.
It would be Peter B.
Yeah,
Parker.
Peter B. Parker. That's
true.
what I'd look like right now if I put on a suit.
Oh, you don't look that bad, Gavin.
Peter B. Parker's not that fat. I would look like Peter B. Parker.
He has the most. I have the most dad bod out of this group, and he has.
That is true.
That's fair.
I'm getting past dad bod at this point. But yeah, this episode we are. It's just a No Way Home episode. Yeah, it's No Way Home. The title will let you know that.
Yes, it will. And spoilers.
Sorry about the late recording. We just wanted to get it out after.
We wanted
the
to get
movie,
it out
'cause
of the
we're
way.
like,
Yeah, we wanted to watch the movie.
As of date, I've watched it 3 times. The others watched it 2 times, which
I was
is plenty
supposed
to have an
watch it
opinion.
the 3rd time tonight, but that's getting moved to tomorrow. But yeah, I've watched it twice, so
We've watched it enough to have a pretty clear opinion on the movie.
that is true.
Yeah.
As I said
Great
earlier, maybe I did.
Great movie.
But spoilers inbound. There's no way we can talk about this movie and not talk
Yeah,
about the spoilers.
It's great if you wanted to stay spoiler free. We all think
It's
it's
great. Good movie.
But
You should watch it.
here's what I'm gonna say. That just from my third watch was Monday, I think, or no, Sunday. And on Sunday, when I went to the theater, like the local theater, literally no one in the movie theater knew what the hell was happening. So I'm guessing all the real comic fans watched it earlier. So if you haven't watched it by now, then there's going to be spoilers. But I'm guessing most of you have if you're watching a weekly
What
Bugle
he's
podcast.
saying is if you haven't watched it now, you're a fake comic book fan.
And a pussy. Yeah.
Want to reiterate that last point.
Honestly, stop following our content. We have very little followers already, but if you haven't watched it already, I don't want you here.
No,
Please stay,
you're not real.
actually.
No, we don't need them.
we
Don't
like
be
the
weak.
Numbers.
We don't need
fine.
numbers.
Leave, get out.
Yeah. When do we ever care
Get
about
outta
the
here.
numbers? Are we going to say anything about Tick Tick Boom? Because we did record a podcast episode.
thought we
talking
were
Oh
Tick Tick
yeah,
Boom.
yeah.
Okay.
There is a Lost podcast episode where we talked about Tick Tick Boom for maybe 2 minutes.
Before we get on with the No Way Home stuff, we all loved it.
We all loved it. Andrew Garfield was
Great
amazing,
movie.
Oscar worthy.
It's my movie of the
Legit
year.
Oscar worthy. Oh, mine too. Gavin.
So now that's out of the way. Yeah, Gavin.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it is. I was shaking my head. Yes.
Peter
Forgot
Parker
this is
agrees.
audible.
I can't take you too seriously at all, but I mean,
What do you mean? What do you mean?
It's just true, Austin.
it's ridiculous. But I guess let's get into No Way Home, boys.
Oh man.
Where do we start?
Where do we
I
start?
want to start out with the bets, okay? Because
Oh yeah.
long.
Obviously, Austin
Yes.
lost the big one.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Awesome.
here's the thing. I knew I was going to lose, and they have heard me say that many times.
Oh yeah.
I
You said
made
it on
the bet
podcast, too.
at a point where people were posting those bullshit leaks and saying that they were confirmation, and I was like, this is stupid. So I made a bet out of rage. I knew I was going to lose, but I did beat Justice. So me and him
Yes.
were even.
We're canceled out.
Which
Still
was
owes me
complete
20
luck
bucks.
that Doctor Strange said it on top of the light.
Yeah.
whatever it's called.
It was, yeah. Cause at first, your main point was he was talking about the other villains or maybe the Spider-Man, and that was just completely wrong. It was just
No, I was
completely
he
other
was
people.
talking about the other villains. They were trying to leak through it.
I
to
mean,
me.
yeah, kinda.
But that's not what I thought was going to happen.
No,
so you're
not
right. I was
kind of.
wrong.
Yeah, that's exactly what was happening. I mean,
I was
it
right,
showed
but not on
both
purpose.
You're right. Yeah. No, not
But yeah,
intentional.
Wrong
The bets
formula,
went-
but you got the right answer.
the bets went about how I thought they would. I knew I was gonna lose the Toby and Andrew one, or else I thought I was, and I had a good feeling about me and Jay's bet, but yeah. So
overall, but yeah, bets aside.
Wow, I didn't realize how much that impaired my vision until I took it off.
Gavin, you need to swallow your mic, by the way, because your laryngitis is holding you back.
All right, my bad.
That is true. Bets out of the way. Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire.
They came back.
The Return
so
of the Kings.
If you for some reason haven't
Kings.
watched it and kept listening to this podcast, that's your punishment.
That's your punishment.
That's your big spoiler.
They came back.
That's the biggest thing. And let me tell you,
Did they ever come back?
They came back hard. Like every scene Andrew was in stole the show from me. His
Andrew was
body,
really good in it.
his body
He has
movement,
his
his
charisma
character,
was just.
charisma.
So
It's just-
everyone agrees on Andrew. He just played it like he did in TASM. It was amazing. That's his.
In
They
his
let
own-
him do
yeah.
what he did in TASM. He played it like himself. Body language was through the roof. He was also like quirky and almost kind of like aloof at times, which is what his character was in TASM. It was amazing. But I feel like I want to give the credit to Tom, dude. Tom somehow,
that is-
Tom
Tom-
somehow
Tom.
kept
Tom
the spotlight
gave-
on him with those two coming in.
It was no matter, even with them showing up, it was still Tom's
It was still
movie.
Tom's movie.
Yeah, and when I was,
Which was
that's what I was
very
scared
important.
about. He was broken like no other Spider-Man has ever been broken before, and he acted better than either of them did, like at being broken.
Yeah.
No discredit to Andrew. He's the best actor that's ever played Spider-Man, but Tom
He did
just
it well.
He is. That
I
he
mean,
is.
If you were to compare the May scene and the losing Gwen scene, I would still
very
think the Gwen scene's still better. May's
Ooh.
really good though.
Ooh,
May's
May
scene
was
was
Maze
fire.
really
is
good.
Maze is
when
really
he
good,
put his-
but Gwen's is better.
here's
When
my
he put his head
here's
on
my
hers,
thing on
that was
this.
really good.
Here's my thing. Andrew's scene may have been better, but Tom acted more like someone that had just lost their like most loved person in the world. He acted like he didn't know what was going on. He was like, wake up, it's not funny anymore, May. And he was like bawling and like freaking out. Like Andrew had a superhero reaction to it, and like he was obviously crushed and broken. But Tom looked like a real little kid, like a real high schooler, losing someone in his arms. Like he looked like frantic.
Well, Andrew was also like Gwen. He should wake up. Like he was in denial too.
Yeah.
Like I think it's kind of unfair to compare.
I think we should just not compare them that strictly
Yeah,
in
that's
this
what I'm saying.
podcast.
It's a little bit
They're all
unfair
great.
because they're all great. And to be fair, that was like when Gwen died. That was Andrew's second time having someone really close to him die. Because he also had Uncle Ben in TASM 1.
Hey, Tom had Tony Stark
and
die.
Tom had Tony Stark.
Yeah.
But
I saw a theory because Uncle Ben's name has never been mentioned in the MCU. That Uncle Ben's not
He wasn't
like he's not even there.
It was shown.
No,
to-
not
I
even
don't-
wasn't important. He wasn't in the he doesn't exist.
It was
there was
shown.
never an Uncle Ben.
no, Ben exists.
That was a
'cause
deleted
he
scene.
has,
I thought.
he has Ben's suitcase.
Yeah, Ben's suitcase was. It said his name.
No,
on
that
it.
was
No, it said DP
that was
on
Far
it,
From
didn't it?
Home. That was Far From Home.
There definitely is an Uncle Ben. It just no one gives a shit about him because it was way before Spider-Man's story started.
I think that in the MCU, this Uncle Ben just wasn't as important as the others, which is why May had the whole thing. And
With
where
great power.
With great power comes great responsibility.
I will say
Which,
that
I mean,
everyone's
I think-
predictions for the movie pretty much came through, like when
Oh,
it
yeah.
came true.
Yeah.
I mean, and I just want to say, like, I don't think that they could have done bringing them back more perfectly.
Oh,
They
no,
let
that
them
was
have their
perfect.
own little moments. They let them be a group, and they didn't. Neither one of them
They
stole the show.
each had redemption for their
Yeah.
own characters.
Yeah.
Toby was able to stop Tom from killing Goblin, which was great.
Oh, don't
Andrew
Oh.
caught
Oh,
MJ, which was
bawled
just
my eyes
phenomenal.
out.
Dude,
Bawled
I
my
cried.
fucking eyes out, dude.
I'll say this. I've already put this on Twitter and told everyone about this, but I cried for 45 minutes straight. There was zero gap in my tears coming out.
Once they come back, basically, you're just in tears.
The second that May
Because
died,
first of all, you're just
I was
happy.
just
Oh,
bawling.
May, yeah.
I was crying. May died. I was crying. Andrew showed up.
if any
was
of our
crying.
viewers are like depressed little gamer boys, you know what it feels like after you just cried for like an hour and you feel like you have no energy left and your face feels like empty and you're just like, oh my, that's what I felt like when I left the theater. I was like literally physically tired. Oh my god, I could not have asked for better. I seriously don't see. Okay, we can talk about the one way that we all know it would have been a better movie if they would have played the freaking Spider-Man theme over the scene with the three of them.
And I took it upon
Yeah.
myself to
Jay
make
did
that
it.
happen.
Jay, me and Gavin
It gives
listened to
me
that the other
chills
night, and we
thinking
both
about
got
it.
chills instantly. It's
That
so
is so
perfect.
I want you to know, like, the reason why I did it is because I thought of it, and because I was listening to that track, and I was imagining the scene, and I just got chills. I was like,
The thing
I
about that
gotta
is there's
make
no
this
reason why they
scene
couldn't
Scene
have
is
done
so much better with the music. So much better with that music. Like,
But
it's a good scene. But
Even
it didn't
hypothetical
feel...
music aside,
with-
that scene was.
It was
All
great.
three of them swinging together.
thing that I didn't
jumping,
realize
swinging
until
around
my-
the Statue of Liberty.
My second watch through with you guys again, the theater was much more quiet than the first one when we went to like the giant IMAX, and I heard them yell when they jumped off, and that added so much more to the scene. That's like the most Peter Parker shit to do is jump off in the middle of a fight and just start like woo. And then the slingshot, they used one of them to propel the
slingshot,
others.
Yeah,
and they wrapped a
that-
web around Tom and swung
Yeah,
it, and then he
he's-
flipped him off
yeah.
and threw him down. It
Oh
was-
my god. And then we had to get our MCU scene of them all landing in their poses. That is
Or Toby landed, Andrew landed, then Tom landed.
that's
It
the
was-
wallpaper
it was
right
great.
there. As soon as that comes out in
Oh,
freaking
yeah.
HD.
Since we get an HD
Immediate.
like screen cap of that is wallpaper,
Mm-hmm.
straight wallpaper.
So I don't really know how to talk about this movie. Like I don't really like go over like a
I-
full review, like start at the beginning. I just kind of want to talk about what we liked, I guess. But we liked everything.
I-
So
Every single second of it.
William
I
Dafoe
enjoyed it.
stole the
Willem
show as a
Dafoe
villain.
killed it.
Absolutely.
Killed
just,
it.
I kind of agree with what you're saying, Gabby. I could have used more screen time, but it wasn't a downfall of the movie. It was just something that
Like when I
would like
watched
to
it the
see.
second time, I was like, man, I could have used a few more scenes with
Yeah,
him.
he wasn't in
Like-
it much.
And
Yeah.
and I really wish, I know that we got the interaction between Toby and Alfred Molina, which made me cry. That was great. But I really wish we could have got an interaction there at the end with Willem and Toby.
Toby, yeah.
Because, like,
yeah, that was,
they didn't really, like, he stabbed him. And
To
that was
me,
it.
though,
Like,
personally, I think that Molina and Toby had a much better relationship
oh,
and like a more
it's
important
much more
relationship.
important that they got to talk.
Defoe
yes.
just kind of
But-
like liked Peter a lot and like wanted him to work for him, like wanted him as a son, and then they just kind of like the Goblin just wanted to kill him.
clashed.
So it was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, he clashed with the Goblin.
They don't even like look like. I just wish he could have like maybe just given a look or anything like
he
that.
looks at him and says, "What
no
have I done?" But
acknowledgement
yeah,
of
but he
each
doesn't
other.
look like
Yeah,
he
he
acknowledges
says-
him as
yeah.
his Peter.
But
Dude, I want to say this. I don't care about any of the other arguments. What Spider-Man's better? What suit's better? Who gives a shit? The strongest Spider-Man is Tom Holland. I will say this until so Toby held back his full strength with the glider, but the spider sense on that man, he detected a mental change in William
Yeah.
in freaking
that
Norman.
spider sense popped. the
literally
fuck off.
detected a mental change. His psyche changed over the
About-
Goblin, and he detected it. It was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I loved how they handled spider sense in this movie.
it was so good.
He-
like
he
it zoomed in on
zones
his
out.
face.
Yeah, he
And
zones
everything
out.
else
He
goes out of
doesn't
focus.
There's the
hear
one where he
anything
gets
around
punched
him.
out of his body, and you can see the actual like
And you can
comic
ones.
see it
Thing
around
from,
him,
like,
and his
Spider-Verse, it's
actual
cool.
body is
But-
dodging strange.
But the other ones that you're talking about, like where the background goes blurry and then it just zooms in
Yeah.
on his face and it just follows his
And
face,
you-
that's the
yeah.
perfect way to show it. Because it's just like quiet and he's just like trying to figure everything out. God, this movie. I'm so excited for the college trilogy. I can't even express it because we're going to
Also,
be getting
the
Harry and
suit.
Gwen.
The
We're
new
gonna be getting-
suit.
That suit is the best suit
Oh
we've
my
ever
God,
gotten, and I will
So
die on
good.
this hill.
It's so good.
Wrong.
The,
It's number 2, but TASM 2's suit is literal perfection.
I can't say that
I like
because we've had a
Toby's
whole
suit
movie of
more.
TASM 2s. But the new
Toby's suit's
really
better
good.
than me. I just like the texture
Toby's
on it.
suit's great, but
TASM 2's
2's
suit is perfect, Justice. Don't get me wrong. But I like the texture on Toby's. How you can like see like the ribbing. It's just like it's so cool. But
yeah, it's really good.
here's why I'm saying that Tom's new suit is my favorite, which we haven't really seen it in action that much yet, but the fact that he literally saw the other two and when he was making his own with the sewing machine was like, you know what, I'm combining our spider symbols and I'm gonna wear them on my back.
I'm going with the baby blue instead of going back away from the black.
It shines. Oh.
It's homemade too.
Yeah.
We're getting down to
We got
basic
every-
Spider-Man.
Marvel
And I'm so
literally, I
excited
didn't think
about
the
it.
MCU could do it. I didn't think they would ever revert him back to his real character. And then they said, you know what, soft reboot.
I don't see how it could be from any other reason besides fan reception. Like fans have been like, "Listen, this has been great.
We
but
need
we want
OG.
back to normal. We want to go back to normal."
Dude,
And I think they were like,
it's
"Okay,
definitely fan.
okay."
the police scanner, the sewing machine, and the homemade suit. That homemade suit is so comic-like, it makes me want to freaking cry.
Mm-hmm.
God.
I'm also insanely glad that he does have the police scanner.
Yeah.
That
Well,
is.
yeah.
I mean,
This
'cause
is the
other times
perfect
it's
thing
like-
for Spider-Man. They've literally rebooted him. He has
It was
no
just
friends,
like a scene out of
no
Raimi's
family,
where he's
no
sitting
Stark.
there and they're just listening to the police scanner waiting,
Yeah.
and then he just
or
goes
the
off when
freaking
he hears it.
Insomniac game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
It's
was
the
a
same.
big heavy.
It's this, yeah, they
yeah,
took a lot of
okay.
inspiration from the
They
games that I
took-
really liked also.
Yeah, with using the freaking move that he used on Kingpin at the beginning of the game,
Yeah.
the apartment fight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that apartment fight.
That apartment fight was the best thing ever when he fought Gabi. That was
It
my
That
is.
was so good.
Yeah, so let's
Gob-
get into
he's just
it.
punching
What
Goblin.
was everyone's favorite
and
moment
Gabi's
from the
just
movie?
smiling.
I
You
have fun
can't
to know
do
your-
that. I don't have a single
I
favorite.
have
I
an
moment.
can't,
easy
I can't
favorite.
list a single
I have an
favorite.
easy favorite.
I
It's
have,
the
an, I have
apartment
like
fight.
a top two.
I know
I have
you
a
would
top
want to
two.
put him saving MJ up there because that is one of the best moments in the movie.
Yeah,
That
that's
one's
my two
in it,
moments.
for sure.
Apartment and apartment. Him saving MJ. Tom's final confrontation with Goblin.
It was so good.
And just the three Spider-Men swinging around. Those are my top four, and I can't list them from like the best moment.
I'm just so
It's
glad we're
awesome.
done with the bullshit where the MCU tries to like hide punches and just make it like way too kid friendly to where you can't even feel
Yeah.
like the actual anger.
Peter was straight up just boom.
When Tom
boom.
punched the shield
Boxing him,
in our
man.
first showing, the crowd had a reaction to that because you could he was trying to kill him. He put his full force into that punch when it hit the shield, and it and he was just giving him relentless hands, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
God.
In the apartment,
Gabi
when
was still just
Goblin kept
smiling, just taking it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, after watching that shot a third time, that might be my favorite MCU moment. Like all Marvel movies, when he does the wall run, he runs and jumps off the wall and then grabs him and starts punching him, and then
He does the
Gabi
Black
looks at him
Widow
and
move,
laughs.
and he gets her in his legs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boom, boom.
And Tom's just like hammer fisting him in the face, and he starts laughing. That is my favorite MCU moment. That is just so perfect.
And Tom's just like, whoa, what's going
Yeah.
on, man? He like
Also-
looks at him for a second.
Gavin, you kind of disagree with me when I brought this up, but I honestly think that it's just because of like better VFX, better like just production now. But Gabi looks so much stronger in this movie than he did in
It's
the
just
original Spider-Man.
VFX, yeah.
The original
I mean,
Spider-Man, he had like a little bit of hands, like you tell he was stronger than normal. But this one, he threw him through like 5 floors.
Yeah,
He
he
was-
I would just
eating-
say that was
he
the-
tackled him
because
through
it's the same
5
guy.
Straight
I'm
floors.
pretty sure
And like
Tom's,
in Raimi, you see him throw him through brick walls and stuff.
yeah,
still.
but a wall, dude. This Gabi was like taking.
Took him
by
through
the way,
5
that's what I'm
floors,
saying.
man.
That's just
if you look it
VFX
up,
limitations.
canonically, Tom Spider-Man ranks like top 3 or 4 strongest MCU heroes right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Gabi was eating his full force to his face. 0 damage, just laughing. Like, that man is a freak.
Oh yeah.
My only complaint with the movies, like if I really had to get nitpicky, would be like, which Lizard is a piece of shit anyways, but they really just threw Lizard's
so
ass
bad.
in there. He didn't,
They-
he didn't
they-
do anything.
Everybody needs to
They
be
threw him
lizards.
in
They just
there.
made that a joke.
They threw it in there, and then they're like, "Oh, we don't really want to fuck with this character in this movie,
Yeah.
so
Well, just-
we're gonna put him in a truck."
Did you notice that they literally found a way to trap him and keep him out of the scenes every time? He got put in a truck, he got stuck under a beam, and then he got webbed to the beams, the scaffolding. They found a way to just keep him in place while everything else happened,
Yep.
Yeah,
and then
if he
just
was,
go heal him real
If he
quick.
was on screen, it was for 15 seconds,
Or else he was
and then
trapped
he was
somewhere.
out, and then he's gone.
But
Yeah.
they did use
I
him
wish
to
I
call back
almost
to
wish instead of
Tasm.
Lizard, they could have used Vulture or
Or
somebody from
Scorpion.
Tom's
I want to see Scorpion
timeline.
bad.
I don't think that.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
but then
think
they would have had to
would've-
introduce a whole new villain.
They wouldn't
Yeah, I
have
don't
done
think they
Scorpion.
would've
They
done
wouldn't have
that.
done it, but I just want to see him bad.
I think we'll see him soon.
I
if
saw a
not
bunch
the
of
next
theories
villain.
thinking that the symbiote that got left behind in the post-credit scene is going to the guy that was in the prison who was supposed to be Scorpion. I don't agree
saw
with that.
too. Yeah.
but-
I
I don't
see
think
that.
so.
Because
I
why would
think
they
they're
use
reaching
why
for
would they use
straws.
up the person they set up to be Scorpion?
It's
for
going
Venom?
to
It makes no
Peter.
sense.
It knows who Peter is. Likely, it's going to him.
Yeah, but he's going to have to fight it at some point.
Mhm.
It's got to attach to somebody to do that.
I think Kingpin's probably going to be a big villain in his next trilogy.
Oh, I hope so.
I don't know. I
Since-
really don't even want to
Since he's
speculate.
staying more down, and like he's like trying to, or they're keeping Spider-Man more lower this time, and Kingpin's been brought in the MCU, and he's clearly like the king of the streets.
Yeah.
So they're like,
Yeah.
huge.
It makes
One
sense.
thing that has been pissing me off is people debating whether Tom's going to fight Eddie Brock's Venom. It's so obvious he's not. That
He's not.
Sony clearly plugged him in with the post-credit scene just to give the MCU a symbiote.
Yeah.
And then they sent him right back to the Sonyverse so he can interact with their people. And I think it's
Hopefully
pretty obvious
Garfield.
that if TASM 3 gets made, Andrew Garfield's going to be his Spider-Man.
First of all, I want Andrew Garfield just to be like the Sony side of thing. Whenever Sony needs a Spider-Man, they can use Andrew Garfield.
Here's the thing, though, Jay. I think that they should only use him for TASM 3 and then drop it. I think they should make a TASM 3 and then never bring him back. You don't want to beat a dead horse.
I hope that he does get the quote-unquote multiple projects. If anything, I hope TASM 3, and if they drop him, they drop him.
I don't want multiple projects because
I want multiple projects with Andrew Garfield.
I think that Toby, because people are going to watch TASM 3 a crazy amount, but I think
absolutely.
Toby having a trilogy and then letting Andrew end off his trilogy and then just letting Spider-Man exist in the MCU. Because if you start releasing multiple projects while the MCU Spider-Man timeline's going on, it's going to get convoluted again, which was the first mistake that Sony made. You gotta keep it clear for the audience. So I think they should definitely bring in Andrew for TASM 3 and let him fight Eddie Brock's Venom maybe, or even introduce a Miles. But I think after that, Sony should just let Marvel have Spider-Man. Yep. What, Kev?
Finish.
Yeah,
just go ahead and finish what you're saying.
No, that was basically
like, if you're wanting to keep it clean, I think you need to have, like, Tom cannot be crossing back and forth. He can't be doing that because that's confusing enough as it is.
I think he won't. He's not going to anymore, though.
Yeah,
he's
I
never
think
Spider-Man.
that they need to do TASM 3, which I don't even know what the story's going to be. Hopefully, it's not the original.
Hopefully, it's
that
new.
story's poop.
Hopefully, it's
that
new. They
TASM 3
Hopefully,
story's
they learn
bad.
that it's all new.
I don't know. I don't think it'll be fighting Venom necessarily. Well, it could be
well,
because
that's
he
be a
wants to
wasted
fight an
opportunity.
alien.
Having Eddie Brock sent back to the Sonyverse and then having him not used.
I think
he might
I think
not
he'll be
fight
used.
Venom.
But I figured he'd be in a later project, not necessarily TASM 3.
Here's my perfect.
I think he'll fight him in Venom 3.
Here's my perfect story. My perfect story would be TASM 3. They bring Andrew back one time to give him a trilogy, just like Toby got, and then he's done playing Spider-Man. I say I want them to bring him back for TASM 3, and then I want them to introduce a Miles in TASM 3, and then let what Andrew learned from his whole story be used to teach a Miles, and then Miles be on the Sony side, and then Tom be Marvel side and have his
that'd
story.
be pretty cool, yeah.
So we still
That'd be
get
perfect.
Spider-Man from Sony. It's just Miles, so we don't see the same
that
shit being
would be
confusing.
perfect. That'd
That's
be
what I would love to
absolutely
see.
'Cause we don't-
100% perfect.
Tom is he's so young. He's like 20.
Yeah.
He says that he's like going to take a break from acting, and
It's
he
bullshit.
might.
It's not.
He might. I mean,
It's bullshit.
whatever.
He
But
might. I mean,
We don't need two Spider-Men in the MCU.
We don't need two
Consistent.
Spider-Man,
No, we don't.
period.
we need
we
him
need-
in.
we
We
need
need
a-
one in Sony, one in
No,
MCU.
here's what I'm saying. We don't need one in Sony, one in MCU, because they've partnered and done so well. What I'm saying is we need a Miles Morales Spider-Man, not an Andrew Garfield.
Well, that's
We
what I'm
need-
talking about. Yeah,
That's what we're
we
saying.
need, because you can differentiate between those two characters. They're two different characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like you as a fan, you will go seek out Miles stuff from Sony and then also seek out MCU. But if you just keep on using Andrew for multiple projects and then you also got Tom going on this side, it's just like, okay, this is just diluting Spider-Man. Like it's just I wouldn't like it. I do want to see Andrew
your
play.
Your plan is absolutely perfect. It's just the part in me that really wants to see Andrew in more stuff.
Yeah,
I
but
do
you
100
gotta
I
think
do
about what's
100%
better for
agree.
like just the
For,
fan
like,
base
the
in
whole
general.
Dude,
scheme of
Fuck
things.
the
'cause,
fan
like,
base.
Jay, you got to admit, having him and Toby have a trilogy
have a
would be
trilogy be
perfect.
perfect. It's all we
Oh,
need.
absolutely.
and then
We
Tom
don't need-
gets his multiple movies because his first
Yeah.
trilogy wasn't even Spider-Man. So
Oh,
the
It was
last
a
movie
build
was.
up to. It was the entire trilogy was his origin story.
Half the movies
'Cause
he's
now
in
he's Spider-Man.
have aliens and shit, and one of them all the Avengers are fighting. No mention of his actual story in half the movies he's in. Far From Home wasn't even a Spider-Man movie, for God's sake.
No,
I still like it though, and I'll die on that hill.
I don't.
I bet you will. I bet you will.
Dude, the final scene was the most Peter Parker shit ever. I've
Well,
been
the final
saying
scene's
this.
great. That does not make up for.
I
this
know. Well,
Final
but
scene,
like we said in the
perfect.
car though, the only mistake they made was sending him to London. Take that same story and put it in New York, and you got a good Spider-Man movie.
movie. Yes and no.
Better.
Yeah.
Better
I mean,
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
better.
better.
That
That
better,
Mysterio
better.
was great. It wasn't the
Oh
villain's
no,
problem.
he was
Yes,
great. Mysterio
yes.
was amazing. I just think
Yeah.
take out Nick Fury.
Yeah, that whole plot was so stupid.
Also,
Nick
he was
Fury
a
should not have been in
Skrull.
the movie.
Fuck that too.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Knowing Feige's little sneaky ass, that whole little like subplot where he's a scroll is gonna lead to like some crazy shit in Secret
it's
Wars.
Secret
leading to
Invasion.
Secret
Secret Invasion, yeah.
Because they're filming that with Sam Jackson
Yeah.
right now.
So I'm just saying we
They're filming that
hated
right now.
that,
Holy
but
shit.
Feige puts dominoes in place, and then when they all
Oh,
knock
yeah.
over, you get an in-game movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So as much as I hated that subplot, I know that he's doing something with it, even though it
Yeah.
made the Spider-Man movie shittier. I don't even consider Far From Home a Spider-Man
I'm
movie.
just glad that now we'll have MCU Spider movies that he has no ties to the Avengers, no ties to anyone else.
Yeah,
Can't be-
we just
I
get
mean,
And he's
good
actually
old
Spider-Man.
he
Plus-
can
And I'm
run.
so-
He can run into the other heroes, but they don't know who he is, so he doesn't feel like he has to stay.
He'll
keep in contact
eventually
with
he'll
them.
forge some relationships with some of them.
Oh yeah.
I just don't want him going back to how he was, where he's in
He's-
everything.
To-
He's
to
getting
where
called to
just like- he's
space.
just like,
I
We don't
think
need
that-
that.
I
Guys,
think that
guys.
the next
I'm Peter Parker.
they won't know what that means. I think here's what I think. They're gonna let him have his neighborhood Spider-Man thing, but I think when like the next like cataclysm happens, like the big Avengers
he'll be
moment,
there.
they'll
He'll
pull
be
him
there.
in. They won't.
Yeah,
they don't know
yeah.
he's Peter, but they'll be like, okay, Spider-Man in New York.
We
He's
need
doing like street
Spider-Man,
crime now,
yeah.
but we know what he can do. He fought.
And hopefully
Thanos,
this time
so,
he'll
like,
keep his mask on and not
Yeah.
take it off every 5 seconds.
I mean, now he knows. Now he knows.
Wait, he
to
can
keep the
take it
mask
off.
on.
There's no
I mean-
consequences. Oh, I guess his classmates could
people
find
can
out from
still
college.
people can still
He's gonna make
learn
new
who Peter
friends.
Parker is.
People, yeah.
Oh, by the way, I found so many plot holes in the fact that no one knows who he is, but I'm not even going to talk about those on this podcast. I'm just
That's a
gonna
really
internalize
messy
them.
thing if you
Yeah.
really
It
look
is.
at it. But
During my
insanely messy.
third watch through, I was just sitting there like, he would have zero way of getting an apartment.
he couldn't
So-
couldn't get an apartment. He couldn't take a GED
Enroll
because
in
he
college.
wouldn't
Well,
have a
no,
record.
well, here's like everyone forgets who he is, but he still has like a social security number and shit like that.
Yeah, but if
That's
everyone forgets
not
who he
confirmed
is, he
at
has-
all.
Yeah, none of that.
All
stuff's, like-
records of Peter Parker have been erased, as far as we know.
there's so much more that I forgot that I was thinking in the movie. Like this makes zero sense. Like I love the idea that they erased him so they could soft reboot him and have him be a neighborhood Spider-Man. But at the same time, and they did it in a great way. But at the same time, doing it that way comes with like a trillion plot holes that are like, this makes zero sense. How this
Well,
ever
if you
happened.
dissect any Marvel movie, there's a ton of plot
Yeah,
holes
yeah.
typically.
That's fair,
So you
yeah.
just Marvel movies are theme park movies. They can be done really well, like this one was, but they are thrill rides to experience with fan bases. That's what they always will be.
You can't look at them like you look at like a Tarantino movie.
And like,
a Nolan
if
movie.
there's some that are worse, a lot worse than others, and some you do need to critique occasionally. You're like, okay. listen,
Endgame was
we
one that I
gotta
think
talk
was
about
fair
this.
to nitpick because it was such a big like conglomeration from the other ones, and it had so much time travel play that like you need to
If
look
it's a
into that.
3-hour movie, you can nitpick the movie. It's
Yeah.
3 hours
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
Well, damn, No Way Home was almost 3 hours long.
No
Yes.
Way Home is 2.5
What? 2.5?
2 hours.
2.5 on the dot, yeah.
2 hours and
2:28
minutes.
something.
2 hours.
I feel like we got a lot of what we want to talk about in No Way Home out of like. I mean,
If
we
I
all
had to
feel
say a
the same
favorite-
way.
I would
I
think
s-
that like favorite moments, I would still go with the Toby Molina moment because that moment.
That's wild. That was a great moment, but that just shows that you're
dude.
a
That
Randy
makes
boy.
me cry. That's so good. Just seeing that, and then
Mine's the apartment
him
fight.
catching MJ, and the Goblin fight. I think the apartment. I don't know. No,
Apartment's
I
right.
love the apartment one. Nah, yeah, I'm gonna go apartment one. Apartment one's probably my favorite.
Apartment and
fight-wise.
Andrew Saving NJ are my top two that are tied for number one. I can't pick.
Oh, but what I was gonna say
There's
is
so
like,
many, man.
here's the thing: if Marvel was gonna give someone 6 movies, even though the first 3 were somewhat wasted, not the first 2 were somewhat wasted. Homecoming was great. I don't know what I'm talking about. They just wasted his character a little bit. I'm glad that it's Tom Holland because it's it's insane how good he is in that role. He is so much Peter
He is
Parker.
great. Yeah, he's never
He
been
is-
the issue with Peter.
No,
Never.
I'm just so glad that since they're like putting all their eggs in his basket and giving him 6 movies, I'm so glad that we actually got stuck with a good actor.
And can we talk about how Tom Holland, he got with Zendaya and he's like, I'm thinking about having a family, all right?
Yeah.
Settling down.
What if I stop
She's got
using
that man.
condoms?
What if like
She's
so I'm
She's got
dating
that man
Zendaya.
on a whip.
I'm
Oh,
dating
dude, if I was with
Zendaya.
Zendaya, I'd literally.
I'm
I'd
not
wear a
blaming
doggy
him.
collar.
I would
no,
be-
I'm not
Kidding me?
Yeah,
I
She
don't
could
think
beat the
I'd go
shit
that
out of
far.
me.
same boat.
I wouldn't go that far, but
I'd
yeah,
be
no,
freezing
anything
sperm,
you
dude.
say, I'm sure-
You wouldn't go that far, Justice.
What the
I
hell's
wouldn't
wrong
go
with
that.
you?
Not freezing sperm or putting
Whoa.
on a fucking dog collar or shit like
Oh,
that.
he's gay.
No.
Oh, he's gay. Which nothing wrong with being gay. Okay, I've been canceled once this year.
But you are gay.
You know,
We've brought this up before. He has gay tendencies because he wants a girl to beat his ass. He likes muscular
no,
women.
I listen.
He likes girls that are built like dudes, and I mean like straight she/hers,
that was one
built like
picture.
dudes.
That was one picture.
He does like some
But
sus tweets.
Yeah, definite sus tweets. How long have we been going? Because I'm trying to figure out if
Not
we
that
need to.
long, like maybe 30 minutes.
I feel like it's been longer.
We're
than
at
30
31
minutes, maybe.
exactly.
No way.
It's 31.
Damn.
Yeah, not that long.
I thought No Way Home's gonna take like an hour and a half. I
I
mean,
mean, we still have some stuff
No.
we could talk about.
yeah,
yeah. If it wanted to nitpick,
real
I
nitpicky?
love the score for the movie, but they still did the Marvel thing where they didn't use it enough in the movie.
Yep.
Like if you
The
listen to
first
the soundtrack
trailer-
on its own, it's fantastic.
the first trailer we got made me think we are gonna get that theme in the movie, and we didn't get it
Yeah,
at all.
but we didn't. We didn't.
That's been in-
I'm like,
that's been in every trailer for his trilogy.
That gave me
And
such
they
a
that was the
never
chills.
song they should have put when they were swinging.
Yep.
Oh my god, I would have cried. I would have bawled my
You
eyes
have
out.
this man
would've
making a
come.
great score, and then you don't utilize it in the movie
Yeah.
very well.
But
Sometimes it's utilized pretty well.
They
but not-
also
not a
didn't
lot.
use Andrew and Toby's theme that much, which
they
No,
they
they
little
used
hints
a
of it.
little bit of it. I didn't
Little
even hear
hints.
Andrews. I didn't hear Andrews. at all.
Andrews was played in the background of when he first showed up, and that was it.
Also, I love that every time Electro shoots his beams, you can hear the dubstep kick
Dub.
up in the background.
I fucking love that they
Yeah.
brought the dubstep back.
Yeah, it makes it so much cooler.
It makes me so happy.
Also, can we talk about how like there's probably like 25 cuss words said in the movie, and 24 of them were Electro? They let
That
Jamie
was
Foxx
not Max
say anything
Dillon.
they
let
wanted
Jamie
to.
That was
Foxx
Jamie
say
Foxx. I
anything.
want to point that out.
Yeah, no, I
That
agree. That was
character
not Max.
was not
that
even
was
involved in
fully
Max
Jamie
Dillon.
Foxx.
That was Jamie Foxx, yeah.
Even Max
Jamie
as
Foxx was
Electro
like,
didn't
I'll
act
come
like
back,
that.
but on one condition: you don't make me look like I did, and I get to act.
Not
like
even
how I
looks.
was.
He didn't even talk like Max. He just talked
That's
like
what I'm saying.
Jamie
Like
Foxx.
he's like, I can do whatever I want. Listen, all right.
I don't like the spin-off idea that they're talking about. You see that?
No, I don't think.
That-
I don't think
No,
that's
so-
real.
I love
Sony
him as
back on
Electro,
their
but I don't wanna see
bullshit,
that.
dog.
Yeah,
There's no
they
way
are.
that's real.
Dude,
I don't
it's
know.
Sony.
I don't put anything over Sony.
That was like
They're
one
I don't put
leaker,
anything
and I
over-
really don't think it's real.
They're
'Cause
already
there's no way
making
they're that
a
stupid.
Craven movie. So,
I'm excited.
Craven
for
could
Craven.
have a
Morbius?
movie. Electro does not need a movie. Electro, we've already seen his
Especially
origin
Jamie
story.
Foxx's
What are you gonna
Electro.
do?
It's pretty one-dimensional.
He's done also. Like he said, no, I'm tapped out, man. I'm done.
yeah,
Well, he's
no, I
not
don't-
done. They just put a capacitor on him. He could literally just, and then
Well, that removed all the
all
electricity
the
from
other
his body.
all the other villains were actually fixed. He dead ass just has like a little like cock ring on his
He
electricity.
dead ass just ripped that thing off.
The other
and
one's
get-
like permanently
gave, like,
fixed. His is just a little cup on it. It's like okay, no. When
no,
he gets
no,
when he gets
no,
back
no,
to his
no,
universe,
no,
he could literally just take a freaking monkey wrench and just, and then all of a sudden just start sucking electricity again. Because that's all it is. It's just capacitor for his
Yeah.
electricity.
It took
Yeah.
away all the electricity besides the electricity in our bodies need to survive. Put it in that little thing, and so the second that thing comes off, he's back to normal.
Also, I was worried. I mean, yeah, I wasn't worried, but I was like, how are they going to do the arc reactor? That was pretty cool that he could like feel it, and then he's like, I
Yeah, that
want
was
that.
fine. I had a feeling it wasn't going to be anything extreme.
It
Everybody was like,
wasn't
no,
gonna
they're
be
bringing
Starky,
Tony
yeah.
Stark back. I was like, no, that makes no sense.
Dude,
Electro randomly robs a Stark Industries building and finds an arc reactor, and then
And
says,
finds out he's
"Fuck
been
you,
betrayed by
Tony!"
Tony Stark.
Fuck you, Tony Stark.
and then he turns to the camera and says, Spider-Man's not my villain anymore. Tony Stark.
Tony
is."
Stark is.
And Spider-Man's just in my way.
You know what scene I haven't seen anyone talk about, but that I really liked is when Happy looks at Peter, and Peter
Yeah,
like has
that's
like
pretty
desperation
good.
in his eyes, and then Happy like opens his mouth a little bit, and he just like, oh my god.
He realized May died. Yeah. No,
Happy's a
one
simp.
scene that I really liked is the final scene with Happy and Peter.
Yeah.
Whenever and how they both say they know her through Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
That's good. That's good stuff.
It was good.
So, like, among with the, several plot holes of Peter Parker erasing his identity through everyone, like through all the Avengers level events. How if that happened, we have a whole scene in Infinity War of Peter's like, "Oh, we're using our made up name. I'm Spider-Man, or I'm Peter Parker." Blah 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 to Doctor Strange. How does that scene replay in Strange's head now
With
that
the mask
everyone's
on.
forgot?
Just
Forgets the
forgotten
name.
memory.
They remember all the heroic shit he did. They just remember him with a mask on and no identity.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, the name Peter Parker
When
is just
you
erased.
they erased Peter
And you
Parker's
just see the
identity, but
mask.
everything that Spider-Man did,
Yeah, I know.
Spider-Man as
Everything
an
Spider-Man
identity
did
stays.
stuck.
So that's where you really got to think about it, like the comics, where there's two separate identities. Everyone remembers everything that Spider-Man's done, but when Peter Parker becomes involved, erased.
Erase. God.
He'll still get called back by the Avengers because he still is
yeah, 'cause
the
he's
most powerful
Spider-Man.
Avenger, pretty much.
Yeah.
He's just chilling in the neighborhood now.
Yeah. He just-
Also, he really just gave himself a self
know,
reboot
but they-
because he literally just tossed his old
shout out
suits
Wong.
out. He had a perfectly good Stark-made
Sorcerer
suit that was
Supreme.
way better than the one he made.
He did it?
But he's like,
I
no,
think he was like,
I'm
it's time
neighborhood
for
Spider-Man
it's time
now.
for a refresh, man.
He has now just cloth.
He's
Nothing.
like, I can't be connected to Stark in any way.
Yeah, but he's at a huge disadvantage now without that suit because he's used to fighting in suits that do everything for him, and now he's just like, well, I'm out here. Here we go.
I want you guys to know definitely that my Discord lagged a little bit.
We saw it. I saw it at least.
And I
did,
sat there
but-
in complete silence and I said, "Shout out to my boy Wong for becoming Sorcerer Supreme."
I hate that.
And none of you
It's
guys
just a
said
joke. That's just a
anything.
joke.
I'm
And I
sure
was
it'll
like-
get changed next
Oh,
week.
It's
it'll
just a
most
joke.
likely get changed.
Strange is still the most powerful.
Wong
and it's obvious.
supremacy, my
It's
guy.
Yeah,
Wong
it's-
supremacy.
It'll most likely get
I'd be
changed.
saying
to
Wong supremacy too if he's a better actor. Also,
Hey, you shut the fuck up.
in Endgame and Infinity War, Wong does jack shit. In Endgame, he comes and fights, but Infinity War, he just held the crib down, dude. He didn't.
Endgame,
Someone's
he was
gonna
like,
brought
watch
everyone.
Sanctum.
he's like, I'm the second strongest sorcerer in the entire known
Yeah.
universe, but I'm just gonna
He-
chill at the crib. You guys
He,
got
he
him,
brought
right?
he
Like-
brought the whole fucking gang in Endgame, dog. What do you mean?
Yeah, but he himself is more powerful than half the people that were fighting Thanos in Infinity War, and he just chilled at the crib.
Hey, man. He
Also,
had to
I
protect the
thought of
sanctum.
You
this.
gotta protect your turf.
Gotta
Isn't there a
protect home
scene
turf.
where a portal like cuts something's limb off or something like that?
Yeah, Strange does it.
Yeah. So why did he not do that to Thanos?
Because why would they?
This
That's
has
in
been a
the
plot
movie.
hole for a long time.
That was
I
in
never,
the movie,
I never saw
Austin.
that on Twitter. I saw a lot of other ones, but I
I've
just
thought
thought
about
that
that
was
like a day
I've
after I
seen,
saw
I've
the
seen
movie. I was
that
like,
one
you know,
before. Like, well, it's
he
like,
can put a portal wherever he wants, and
Yep.
nothing Thanos can do can get out of it.
But-
All he
but
do
that
is
would-
lop his arm off.
that would end the
it's
movie,
just
Austin.
it's a plot convenience.
Instead,
that
he
would
sent
end
his
the movie.
cape after it. Jesus.
You dumb fuck.
Granted, I think that Thanos
Put
could
me
have
on-
easily countered
put
the
me
portal
on
once he
Titan.
got a few more stones, but
But
I don't know.
by then, I believe he had the Reality Stone, so yeah, he very well could have.
he could have turned the portal into nothing. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I mean,
So,
sure, who knows?
Not really
Maybe
a
that's
big
why,
deal.
Maybe that's why Strange didn't try it, because he had the Reality
You know what sucks so bad is that Guardians 2 is up there with my favorite Marvel movies, if not my favorite. But after Infinity War, I genuinely didn't like Peter Quill anymore, and it actually it hurt me inside because I was like, I loved these movies so much, but I actually don't like Peter Quill anymore.
It was very in character.
Yeah, but still, it makes
just
you
hate
not-
him 'cause they caused so
they
many
wrote- They
issues.
wrote it to where you dislike him, and it's like, dude, you had such great movies.
Man, you're so great, man. Fuck.
James Gunn will make Guardians 3 good.
James
so
Gunn
we're
will
all
make
good.
Guardians 3.
I can't
Chris
wait.
Pratt and all of them are showing up for a little bit in Thor.
I wish they would have made as Guardians of the
As
Galaxy,
Guardians
but
of the
whatever. It's a missed
Galaxy, me too.
opportunity. But whatever.
Missed
Honestly, it
opportunity, honestly.
At least like a Disney Plus short. At least something like
Yes.
that.
Gavin,
They
are you
could- they-
shitting me, dude? We got I Am Groot, the most anticipated.
I'd
Hey,
drop
James
next
Gunn
year.
confirmed its release on Twitter the other day.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
he's
coming
like,
out
yeah,
next
it's coming
year.
out next year.
Also, I didn't know that James Gunn was actually Groot dancing. He did the mocap for Groot dancing.
In the opening credits.
Yeah. I love those movies so much. God, they're so good.
That'd be a fun thing to do.
He said he did 30 takes. He just sat in the lobby and just like went like this.
That's hilarious.
He probably smoked a little crack and was like, all right.
I can't
Let's go.
believe how bad his tweets were. I hadn't read them until the other day, and I texted them and I was like, dude, How is there any support for this man not to be fired? He deserved to be fired.
It was some deplorable shit. But
Yeah,
I
real
love
deplorable
Guardians of the
shit. It
Galaxy.
was
funny
horrendous.
though. I laughed.
He
quite
made a
hard.
rape joke in a tweet mentioning Disney. I mean, you can't really keep him after that, but I'm glad he came back because he's changed.
But the thing is,
It's
though,
like-
they hired him knowing he made those tweets.
I don't think they knew, Gavin.
I don't think they knew.
They probably scrubbed a little bit, but those tweets were very hard to
Dude,
find.
Disney does their research. They definitely knew. And they were just like, listen, it's
And
2012.
then when the
Nobody's going to
public
go back
found
and
them, you
find
think
those.
they just...
And then cancel culture, and they're like, okay, James, we got to fire you for those tweets.
They were
And then
bad,
Warner
dude.
Brothers hired him. They're like, all right, cool, we can hire you
But
again.
some tweets, like when Kevin Hart got fired and his tweets came up and like other people, their tweets were like a little bit like edgy, but they did not deserve to like be fired for them. But James Gunn's were like so like not funny and just like
It's like,
crazy.
you
Even
don't
I
blame
wouldn't tweet that
Disney.
shit.
Yeah, you don't blame Disney for being like, oh shit, yeah, we can't have this
Yeah.
guy.
That's not even cancel culture in my mind. That's like justified.
That's
like,
like-
dude, that guy
that's
said some
genuine,
wild
like-
shit.
One of the worst
some of
things he
that
did.
shit-
Did you see the party he went to?
No.
He went to a pedophile-themed party where you dressed as what pedophiles dress as. Like,
That's
they had
funny.
clown pedos there. He dressed as a priest. There was
That's kind of funny.
some other stuff like that. I don't remember what it was. But
His
it was a whole
tweets
party
were just,
dedicated
like-
to dressing like a
His
pedophile.
tweets weren't even funny. They were just like shocking.
It's like, why the fuck would you do
I laughed at
Why
him.
would you
I'm
ever
not
say
going to
that?
lie.
Oh, I laughed at a few, but most of them were stupid and like so egregious that it wasn't even funny. But a lot of them were.
Like,
kinda
what was that
funny, yeah.
one? I don't want to read it, but I just want
I
to look at it real quick.
sent all the ones I didn't laugh at.
Though, I laughed at a couple of those, though.
Oh, I can read some off. I
You're
have them right
sick.
here.
You're sick.
Watching
believe you
Trapped in the
laughed.
Closet, R. Kelly's second best video after the one where he urinates on a child.
No, that wasn't it.
In case they kept in the stuff about that time my friend John Cabrera killed a whore in Mexico. Eagle snatches kid is what I call it when I get lucky. The Expendables was so manly. I fucked the shit out of the little pussy boy next to me. The boys are back in town. That made me laugh. That one's funny.
That one is funny.
Just made a joke about ass raping my friend when she was asleep. Period. That's it.
That's also funny. It's so stupid.
Doesn't even make any. It's just bad. The Expendables one was actually funny as hell. Still, that one he definitely deserved to get fired for, but it was funny. James Gunn had like a crazy like changing character, or he just hides it now.
What was he on?
He was like a middle school boy.
He was a borderline pedophile. What the fuck happened?
For real. Gavin looks like Michael Scott when he's talking about the Dementors right now.
Facts.
Prison Mike. He looks like Prison Mike.
It was the Dementors.
The Dementors.
Dude,
Oh.
speaking of Dementors, like, did you guys watch the 20th anniversary trailer?
No, but I'm gonna watch this thing just fresh. I don't
I'm
even want to
watching
see
that day
anything.
one, though.
I'm watching it day one as well. I watched the Friend
Yeah,
Zone's
I
day
watched
one
the trailer.
twice, and it made me cry so much. I'm excited for this.
I'm about to probably cry watching this Harry Potter shit.
I probably will too. I've been tearing up easy lately. I got
Tra-
chills
trailer-
hard to the
trailer
Sing 2 trailer.
alone made me tear up.
Sing 2 when the Johnny Cash line comes out and strums a guitar, I get chills every time. Deep chills. So good. I'm gonna watch Sing 2 in IMAX. You guys can come with or, stay. I don't care. But I'm going. A movie that requires IMAX 0%.
We think it'll be playing in IMAX.
Oh, I'll find it.
I'm fairly certain it is.
Austin's gonna drive to New
No,
York.
that's a blockbuster. It'll definitely be playing in
I'm
IMAX.
pretty sure it is in IMAX. That's the thing.
It comes out on the same day as Matrix. I really don't think it's gonna have an IMAX.
I would watch Sing 2 over Matrix. Not even kidding. Swear to God.
I'm watching Matrix on HBO Max. So
Probably same. I don't really care about it that much. Keanu Reeves is a bad actor. As much as I love him,
He's not. a good actor.
He's not.
really
him
not.
being like the main lead with nothing else to comfort him, and
Now
no,
he's
like,
good in Matrix because it's not requiring a lot of acting. It's
well,
made
this
to
one
just
looks like
look
it is.
really
though.
cool when
This
you're
one's
fighting.
like a personal study of him and what he's going through. The trailer lets
Yeah.
me know that it will require him to act, and he cannot act. The reason John Wick works so well is because he says like 5 words combined in the entire movie. He's just killing shit the whole time. I love Keanu Reeves. Though. I don't want the audience to get the wrong message. I love him
He
as a
just-
person and as an
he's just
actor.
bad
He's
at
just really bad at acting.
Also, shout out to CD Projekt Red who said that he played the game, and he's like, I didn't fucking play the
Just
game.
straight up lie.
How a CD I'd lie too. It's like a nice little thing to put in the media. I don't blame him. Did you see that quote from I forgot the girl that plays Siri in Witcher, but she said that like Henry Cavill like reference like an exact book page and be like, what if I said the line from
Yeah.
page 237? Like that's so cool. He's such a nerd.
I love Henry, man.
I love
love
him so
Henry
much.
Cavill.
He is the sexiest male on this planet, yet he's so nerdy. It's like it's what I aspire to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just like,
Like
He was
women
"Hey,
see him as a
that's so-
sexual
I
deity.
know we have this written,
That
but on
is-
page 257 of book 3, I say this. What if I said
And you
that
know
instead?
he
what
read
if I
that shit
said
before he
what
got
if I
cast
said that
too.
right here? Oh, absolutely.
Like that's the man that like women would like monopolize
like-
like a sexual deity, but he plays World of Warcraft in his off time. It's
I like how
Plays
he
World of
just
Warcraft,
he's-
plays Witcher, plays
he
Mass Effect,
started
plays Red
playing-
Dead.
Yeah, he started playing Red Dead and was like, I like how he's just sitting there playing Red Dead. He's just
he needs to
sitting there.
stop that.
He-
Every
he's
movie,
in there-
He calls
every
up
game
his,
that he
gaming.
he calls up
plays.
his manager. He's like,
He's gaming.
now
he's
hear
like,
me out.
Holy shit, this could be a fucking movie. Hey, why don't
Every
we
game
get
that he
on
plays, he tries to like start buzz for a movie. It's like, okay, Henry, calm down.
I'm like, Mass Effect makes sense.
I mean,
I don't get
Mass
Warhammer.
Effect can make a good TV
I
show.
don't get Warhammer. at
Warhammer,
all.
I don't get Warhammer.
no, Warhammer could be made an easy movie,
Red-
movie easy as hell.
Red Dead
Warhammer has
is
the
a
most ex-
once in
Bro,
a
what do you mean you
lifetime
don't get
opportunity to
Warhammer,
right.
Justice? Warhammer has like the most expansive universe of all time out of anything. They could make a sci-fi movie so easy out of that.
I guess that's true, but I don't know how
Warhammer-
big that audience is.
Warhammer's lore. Oh, Warhammer's got fans. Warhammer has a huge like clique of like cult following.
I know it has a cult. I just never really saw it as appeasing or interesting.
It doesn't interest me at all, but I know that people would watch it.
Speaking of video game movies, we got talk about
Don't say it.
Ghost of Tsushima movie.
Oh, okay.
And
I thought you were gonna say
there's-
Uncharted.
That's I
We
didn't
don't
even
talk
think
about that one.
I swear to
no,
God,
talk
I'm gonna
about
break. We're not talking about this podcast. Actually, I think we talked about having an Uncharted podcast
I
like
think you did,
later
yeah.
next year. That will
We'll
be
talk
used for me and
about
Gavin to go
everything.
ape shit about
We'll-
the movie.
We'll talk about how great the games are and about how bad the movie will be.
Gavin,
But,
should we even watch the movie?
Yeah,
No, I think you should watch the movie to make fun of it.
I agree.
No, I was gonna say the Ghost of Tsushima movie. The directors were like, "We know how video game movies can be, so we're working very close with the game directors."
Ghost would be the
to get it
easiest
right.
movie, the easiest game to transfer to a movie because there's not much you can mess up on. That is like such like a movie-like story. Like that narrative could be transferred so easy to a story. And
Yeah.
the character, like he is deep, but he's not something that you could really mess up as an actor, like get completely wrong, like they have with Uncharted. As long as he's like a young, like a mid-20s Asian male, and he just reads the lines, and he's a good actor, it'll work.
You know, it'd be a better
Yeah.
movie than Uncharted.
By
Sonic.
far.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
I knew he was gonna say it.
Yep.
Justice, what were you saying? The Sonic movie did that before No Way Home did with the portals.
The tails coming out because it's
'Cause-
the end credit scene of Sonic the Hedgehog 1.
All right, you're right then, because it's identical to No Way Home. A ring opens and he steps through it and says, "Hey,
Yep.
I'm Tails."
As the end credit scene of Sonic the Hedgehog 1. And what's cool about Tails in that movie is they got the actual voice actor for Tails.
I
saw
thought
that.
so. It sounded way too good to not be.
And then they got the sexiest voice of Idris Elba for Knuckles.
So
That's
unnecessary to have
hilarious.
Idris Elba. They had to pay Idris Elba
So,
to be
it's so
Knuckles.
good though. It's so good.
I loved it.
It's gonna
You
go.
know,
It's gonna
you know
be
how
great.
bad that character is gonna be. Rule 34.
If
That
he isn't
version
already,
of Knuckles.
If
No,
he
Knuckles is
isn't
already heavily,
already.
but Idris
I
Elba's
feel
Knuckles is gonna be.
I feel like that trailer came out and like 50 people were
Oh, yeah,
on
for
that
sure.
shit hard.
Do you guys know that the day that Tony Tiger's like voice died, the guy that voiced it, the internet exploded with Rule 34 porn of Tony the Tiger. That's his name was trending.
I heard that on like the official podcast or something. And I
So
was
the
like,
day that the guy died, his character was just turned
His
into just like
character was
filthy
turned
furry
into-
porn.
Porn. That's hilarious.
That's
like, why that day, man? Did they like see the news he died and they're like, yo,
yeah. I think the
Tony
name was
Tiger's
trending,
Yo,
and they're like, oh,
Tony-
you know, we could make
Tony
him have a
the
big fat furry
Tiger?
cock.
Fuck, dude. Anyone
He's
make
pretty
any,
sexy, I'm not
any
gonna
art
lie.
of him?
I'm not gonna lie.
For a tiger,
there's
that man
I'm
is
not
a
gonna
few
lie.
animals that I would
I'm
let
not
rail
gonna
me.
lie.
One of them's him,
What are the others? That was
Yeah.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit! Remember when we talked about that in English class one day, Austin?
Was that in
When
your
we
English
pulled
class?
Up? No, it was one of the days you
It
walked
wasn't in your
in.
English class.
Oh, I do remember that.
And
Yes, I
we're
do.
talking about childhood crushes. And he said pull up
Judy
Judy
Hopps, man.
Hopps.
They knew what they were
Gavin,
doing when they
Gavin,
made
you
that
and me
movie.
had English together, and then I would walk into theirs sometimes and just disturb the peace and just say
It was
outrageous shit and then
hilarious.
leave.
It was fucking hilarious too. Because he would just sit there for the whole period too. He would walk in and sit at a table.
What class did you have that hour?
It was 6th hour.
Brown, I had Miss
Speech
Brown's
class.
speech class. I just left.
That's hilarious.
So, do we have anything No Way Home based to cover? I mean,
No, we can move on.
we want to give our scores.
Gavin's corner, because
We're gonna talk about we're gonna link our or like we're gonna drop our letterboxes at the end of this
Oh, I
video. So
gave
if you
it
want to see an
5
exclusive,
stars.
like, yeah, I give it 5 also.
But I did have a lengthy
Oh.
review on it.
stars. I gave it 4.5.
Yeah, so
Holy
if
shit.
you guys are interested in like a more
Pretentious
in-depth review of what we
bitch.
actually think on the podcast, we joke and just like kind of go over things and like talk as friends. But if you want to see like our straight up like
Full review.
Turbo Virgin Cinephile review, you can go to our letterbox.
Where I only have like 2 written reviews. 2 or 3.
I didn't even write a real review. For
I have,
No
like,
Way Home,
7.
'cause
I
didn't
still
feel
gotta
like
write
I
my
had a
review.
review.
I gotta write one for Spider-Verse. I need to do that. It's been on my list forever and I haven't done it. But I know I have one for No Way Home and I have one for Sword Art Online. And
I have one
I
for
typically
all the major
write
movies
real
we've watched
reviews.
this year.
But No Way Home, I didn't feel like I needed to write a review for. I was like,
Yeah, it's good.
Everybody
I didn't have
loves
anything to
this
say
movie.
about it. But
Mine
every
was just straight up praise.
I wrote something.
every
but
movie
nothing.
that we've covered on this podcast this year, other than No Way Home, has a review on Letterboxd, a written review. Most of them being positive.
I don't know if I reviewed.
The only written review I have is No Way
The
Home
last
and like
two.
Sword Art. I'm pretty sure. I gave
Well,
the other ones ratings, but I didn't.
I reviewed the
write a review
others.
for 'em. I needed
There's
to.
I will say
yeah.
the only other one I remember distinctly not actually reviewing was Dune, because I think I literally just wrote "worm cause problem." Let me look real
The
quick.
worm doesn't even cause the problems.
The worm doesn't even do
Yeah, it
shit.
does.
It
causes,
causes
like, one problem.
1 or 2 problems.
Brings the
Yeah.
ship down and it stops them from crossing the desert that easy, but the main problems are way above the worm. In fact, in
Big
book,
worst cop
I
problem.
mean, in
Yep.
movie 2, he's gonna ride the worm. So, yeah, but me and Jay gave it 5 stars. Gavin gave it 4.5.
Oh, yeah.
We basically all have the same
Yeah.
thing to say about it.
Pretty much. Fantastic movie. You'll see me talk about the first act a lot. What I liked about the second and what I liked about the third. It's simple.
As a
review.
review usually
review
goes.
I was about to say how a
usually
review
goes.
works.
Yeah. I think I barely touched on the second act, but I did talk a lot about the first and third.
So do we want to get into Gavin's corner then?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lengthy one.
I just realized that
Yeah.
Gavin's.
Is
It's
it?
called Gavin's corner, yet Gavin goes last.
Is it gonna be? Are you,
Best for last.
Yeah. So, on my end, I have been watching Witcher season 2 on good old Netflix.
I'm watching that
Okay.
too. I'll just throw that now before I have
I'm
to say it in mine.
currently 5 episodes deep. Fucking amazing, just like the first season. Game wise, I've been gaming a whole lot. Other than still continuing the Halo Infinite campaign, but I've been clocking like 40 hours at work for like the past 2 weeks. But now I'm getting down to like actual part-time hours, so I'll have more time to game. So, I mean, other than me playing Halo Infinite and watching Witcher, that's pretty much all I've been doing.
Okay. I don't remember when we last recorded a podcast, but I've beat Uncharted 4 since then, I'm almost positive. So I beat Uncharted 4, and I can definitively say that's my favorite game series of all time. I feel bad copying Gavin every time I play a game that he recommends, but Jesus, those 4 games are so special. I can't even describe how much I love Uncharted 4 as a game. It was the most amazing experience the whole way through. So yeah, I beat that, so I finally finished off Uncharted. Oh, I thought Gavin was leaning up to say something, but then he just made a long.
I thought about saying, like we said earlier, we'll do a podcast
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about it more in depth later,
Yeah.
because we have a lot to say about how
Yeah.
great it is. and about how this movie I can just tell is gonna do it so wrong.
I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say something very offensive, but I'll save that for Twitter. Actually, I
Offensive?
probably shouldn't even say that on Twitter. Yeah. I was just
you're
gonna say I was
get
gonna shoot up the
canceled,
theater.
dog. Oh,
Got
Yeah.
that
yeah.
one real
No. Post that on Twitter. Post that on Twitter.
I already said it on a
right
podcast.
now.
I'm kidding.
Post it on Twitter right now.
So, yeah, beat Uncharted, finish up that franchise. Caves and Cliffs dropped hot and heavy for Minecraft on Java, the part 2 for Java and Bedrock. So, I currently have a Bedrock world going and a Java world going, and I just cycle in between them. And it's the most game-changing update we've had in a while. So, yeah, I did that. And then I started Jedi Fallen Order again. And then since the last podcast, I haven't watched a whole lot. I've been watching Friends again. I'm like halfway done with Friends. And then I've also started Hunter last night, and I stayed up till 5 a.m. watching it. And I'm currently on episode 31. So I've been putting in work.
It sounds like it.
And before you say some Cowboy Bebop shit, Gavin, I'll watch it, okay?
Holy
I know
shit!
you
You
gonna say
haven't
it.
finished
I
that
thought
yet?
about it, but I didn't. Yeah, he's horrible.
I watched
made
30.
a bet, man.
I watched
You gotta
30.
finish it.
I watched 31 episodes of a show before finishing in a day before finishing.
And you have like
You're
what,
the
10
worst.
episodes
You're the
left?
worst.
Yeah, I have 10 episodes left.
I
can't
can't
take-
believe you. I can't.
I'm sorry. I'm
I
sorry,
can't
Miles.
believe you. I
Don't be disappointed in me, Miles.
already am.
That hurts the heart.
What the fuck you eating over there?
Yeah, we're in the middle of a podcast, you coot. He ate a bunch of hot Cheetos and now he's eating Cheez-Its. This man's a glutton.
Dude, we're in the middle of a podcast. He goes, hold on.
Gavin, did you react to that pocket puss?
Comes back. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Oh, speaking. Oh my god. Speaking of that, I have this is going on a podcast. This is funny
What?
work. This is a funny work story. So I come in. I go into work. What's today? Tuesday. Yesterday, and we had our new store manager come in, and he's been working there. And then my coworker Caleb was there, and he comes in. And he goes, "Did I tell you about the story about this like mom with her 15-year-old son?" I was like, "No." And she's like, I believe she was like a young mom. She was like 30. And so he's like, I was talking to her about like getting games and stuff for her son, you know, all this stuff. And then he goes out of nowhere. She straight face says, "Am I a good mom for getting my 15-year-old son a pocket pussy?"
I'd say yes.
And I've never been
Yeah.
more just. He's like, I've never been more just like shocked. And he was like, I didn't know what to say. I don't know how
You say
you
yes.
respond to that.
I can
And
tell
then-
you right now, confidently, my response would have been yes immediately.
And my
Don't
store,
go any explanation. You just say yes.
My new store manager Josh, he was like, "Well, yeah, it'd be a great gift." He's like, probably at that young, he's probably never gonna want to get into a relationship, so have fun with that. But like,
Yeah, she just ruined the sexual experience for her son because you can be
I was like-
slamming that silicone for the rest of his life.
I was like, how does that even?
You think Bryce got that because he's in quarantine?
Don't name drop. Jesus Christ, Gavin. We're still doing a podcast right now. You can't just say you think Bryce got that pocket pussy because he's lonely and quarantine.
There's so many Bryces in the world.
I just.
Then we should give his Twitter at and his last name.
Oh my god.
If we really want to call him out,
No,
Right when
his name's not Bryce.
But
it's Tyson.
Gavin, it's your turn in the corner, by the way.
yeah, it is your. Sorry, I interrupted with that thing,
um,
but you said pocket pussy, and it made me. Think
Yeah,
of that.
no, it was a good story.
Watching wise, I've been watching Witcher. I finished a rewatch of season 1 the other day. I'm only on episode 3, I think, of season 2, but it's got way better
Oh,
VFX.
so you've seen the Hell House?
Way. The Hell House.
Just spoiled them. That's
The,
wild.
Never mind. It's literally like a 5-second thing, and it just was funny because it reminded me of the Hell House. And
I think only you found it funny then.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'll be real. The first episode was really good, though, with like the thingy upstairs, and then
Yeah.
it was a good story.
I think everyone's following that. The first episode was like,
With
what's that
the-
funny upstairs?
I
with
was trying to talk to
thingy
Justice because he knew what I
upstairs.
was talking about.
Gab, Gavin, I'm gonna be dead ass with you right now. I was only laughing because Austin was laughing. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about when you say the thingy upstairs.
The girl that like sucked on the bored dude's neck.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, that whole
Yeah,
story
how
was
was I
really good,
supposed
thought.
to get the thingy upstairs? If you would have said thingy in the ceiling, I would have got it. But you
Thingy
said
upstairs.
thingy upstairs.
It was upstairs.
It was in the ceiling. It
I
was
said
in
a
the
vintage
walls.
gluck gluck just to represent that girl sucking on something.
Oh yeah, no,
I
she
saw
was
it, yeah.
glucking his neck, dog.
Her mouth like, went out, she's like, on his neck.
She was
And he was just
Kinda
fine. He was
hot,
just
though?
like,
Oh.
no,
no.
no. It was very bloody and very gruesome.
Oh.
And he was just like,
Oh, you see her tits though.
Oh.
you see lots of tits in that show.
Oh my
Lots.
god, dude, Gavin, you think you've seen a lot? Oh wait, no, you probably have seen it. Never mind. You're on episode 3, right?
I'm like
Well, in
mid-start
season
to
1,
it.
there was that scene where there was like a fake illusion of like utopia, and there was like
Yeah, no,
100 titties
Yennefer
in
made a bunch of people. Yennefer made
Yeah.
a bunch of people do an orgy. Yeah,
That was crazy.
I loved it personally.
I remember I was watching. I was like, because that was like when I still watched everything on my phone. So I think I was watching it at school, and I was just like, well,
Yeah, no, you
do
want
this.
to talk about how you put up Pornhub at school?
Oh,
yeah.
everyone's
we
done
had to
that.
do some research. We had to do some research. I was
Oh
looking
yeah.
for
Oh,
something.
we've done that several times at school.
Yeah.
At least
I don't,
twice.
I don't think I did.
I'm a coward.
Okay, act like a saint.
Yeah.
I'm not.
This-
No, I'm not
this
acting like
kid's a
I'm a saint.
deviant,
I just
dude.
genuinely don't think I did. I don't. I think it was always you two that ended up looking it up, but I don't. For like looking.
It's-
at
It's
it, but I don't think I
headcanon for
did.
me that Miles Morales watches porn.
I bet he does. I mean, I
Well,
do.
our Miles Morales does. Our universe.
Games wise, I've been playing Dark Souls and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh my god, hurry
I'm
up
not
with
very far into
of the Galaxy.
Guardians. It's pretty good so far.
Hey, don't forget you
They-
beat Fallen Order.
Oh, yeah, I beat Fallen Order. I think I was just playing it last time. I actually beat it now. It was a very, very good game. Very good.
I'm on my third playthrough right now.
I'm gonna start my second after I beat Breath of the Wild, which is after I.
Oh, and I started that today because we got a Switch. That game is fun.
Gavin
just so
simultaneously started
relaxing.
like 4 Nintendo games at the same time. So his Gavin's Corner next week's gonna be crazy.
Well,
He's gonna be going off.
we've been playing Mario Kart, obviously, but then we like had that Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe or whatever. It's like an old school Mario game, but with like good graphics and all that. We played some more of it tonight. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, did he play
that's
anything
just-
off? Did Hefe play anything off screen?
Was he
No,
grinding
no,
behind
he
your back?
didn't. He
Oh,
didn't.
what a good
He
man.
didn't.
Did you check the save files? Did you let him select the save file before you started, and he was the only one in the
I
room?
wasn't up there when they started it.
Oh.
No, he was telling me though, because I was talking about Odyssey, and I was like, Justice was telling me, if you like Galaxy, you'll like Odyssey, and he goes, oh. He said whenever we were playing Galaxy, I used to wait till you guys would go to bed and then play it till 2 or 3 in the morning. I was like, what? He was like, yeah.
Hey, didn't he skip church
Yeah.
one day for that?
Wednesday night church. Yeah.
I got some
Yeah,
chick too.
we came home and he was like, and I was like, you're playing Mario. And he was like,
I don't blame the guy. Galaxy's a fantastic game. I love it.
I've
It
skipped
was pretty
church
good.
many a days to game.
I think we all have. Gavin?
I don't think I have.
I mean, out of the 3 of us, like 0 of us still go consistently to church. But hey,
That's also true. Yeah.
I go
Gavin
every
kind of
Sunday.
does, I guess.
Yeah, he's holding on.
I go every Sunday. Okay, whatever.
Huh?
But
What?
I go every Sunday
I
unless we're
forgot.
sick.
I
Just
forgot.
makes
I
a
don't
claim.
know.
All three of us
sick.
just don't go to church
I
no
go every
more. And
Sunday.
then he's like,
Sunday.
I forgot.
Unless we're sick.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my voice cracked.
Gavin, no, I wasn't trying to make fun of you. After we plug our socials,
you
can
just-
you end the podcast by giving us what's the damn Shrek quote that we kept having you say?
Uh,
Yeah, you gotta
I'll
say
do it
that
at the end.
when we.
It's
end.
not even
Okay,
hate
yeah.
towards you. It just this is the only
No,
time
it's
in our
great.
lives
This
we're gonna
is-
have
this
you do
is
this.
Perfect. Yeah.
This is great.
Okay, so let's plug this. Are we
But-
done?
So,
Yeah,
I think that's it.
everything
Yeah,
I had to say.
Gavin, have you done talking about your games?
I don't think I watched anything else. So yeah.
All
We're
right,
good.
so you can find me on Twitter at just_ice_2002. Awesome.
My Twitter is Big Sauce Small P.
And Gavin.
Gavin_R_Cole.
And then I guess if you want the letterbox, mine's Big Sauce 7778.
I'm pretty sure mine is Iced Reviews.
Mine's Rock Chalk 1214.
I
The good old tried and true username.
I dead ass thought you were gonna say mine's Rock Cock 1214.
I used to call him
I
back
was-
in the gamer tag days. I used to secretly call Gavin Rock Cock Gay Hawk.
It wasn't secretly.
But hit us with it, Gavin.
The Muffin Man.
There it is.
No, you gotta say the whole quote, dog.
Does
Well,
he
I gotta
know the
have a
whole
fart
quote? I don't know
quote
the whole
then.
quote.
I gotta have a fart
I know the
quote.
whole quote.
He's married to the Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man.
All right.
All right, guys. See ya.
This was a weird episode. Thank you all for watching.
Thank you all for paying attention. And next week, I believe, is the end of year shit.
Yeah, you're really the
Yep.
recap.
All right.
Big episode next week.
If you're listening to this the day it drops, which hopefully is Thursday. It most
I was about to
likely
say,
will.
don't make that commitment.
I have tomorrow off, so I'll get it down.
You have tomorrow off, but if you'll send the audio, that's a whole different story.
That's
guys.
also true.
The podcast hasn't ended yet. Yeah, Merry Christmas, by the way.
But yeah, I was
Oh,
getting
yeah,
there.
Merry
I was
Christmas.
getting ready to say, I was like, if it comes out, then have a Merry Christmas. If you're watching this after Christmas, then have a Merry Christmas for 2022.
If you don't believe in Christmas, then happy holidays.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Christmas is world round.
I'm gonna gatekeep Christmas.
Yeah, you got it.
All
Gotta
right.
stop.
Your voice is going out, man.
It's
All right.
it's going.
See you guys later.
See ya.
I feel bad.